Assalamu alaikum. We will be discussing the chapter electromagnetic induction, and we'll be doing that in 3 sessions. So, if I share the slides with you, basically this topic, this chapter can be divided in 3 sections. Principles of electromagnetic induction means Faraday's law and Lenz's law, and Fleming's right hand rule. Second is AC generator, and third is the transformer. So, inshallah, we'll be discussing the first section. So, at first, it was discovered that any current carrying conductor produces its magnetic field. So Faraday thought that if it can be done, then why not? Mm, if a conductor is moved in a magnetic field, then it should produce electrical energy. Like I will discuss here two basic rules, motor rules and generator rules. And you can easily observe these two rules. You can connect it to daily life applications at your home. So you can find a motor like in a toy or a water motor or in any other form. So you can identify the inputs and the outputs. And on the other hand, you have a generator. So I guess it's very simple for a generator. The output of generator is electrical energy. And if we talk about the motor, the output of motor is mechanical movement or force or kinetic energy, you can say. So both have different outputs and different inputs. If we talk about the inputs, so for motor, we connect motor to electrical energy, we provided electricity. So electricity and magnetic energy is the input of motor and output is kinetic energy. And for generator, inputs are magnetic energy plus mechanical movement of kinetic energy, and the output is electrical energy. Okay? I'm asking you to differentiate in these two rules because in electromagnetism we have discussed some rules, and like right hand grip rule for a single current carrying conductor, and then for a solenoid, and then we have discussed a simple and then we discuss force on a current carrying conductor, and uh, that can be given by Fleming's left hand rule. So here in this topic in electromagnetic induction, uh, I will start with some observations. So first of all, I've added a diagram, but I'll explain that at the end. So if we talk about EMF induction, so at first I'll share some videos with you, observations with you. Um, okay, I'll be sharing the videos with you. Where, for example, this is the first one where we are showing simple deflection in a galvanometer. Here we are using a center zero galvanometer. Okay, so I have a coil here. So I had made some coils. This one is with 200 turns and bringing a magnet near it. So you can observe here that when a magnet is brought near it, the needle deflects and the magnet is taken away, needle deflects in opposite direction. I'll repeat that. Yes. You can see when a magnet is brought near it, needle deflects to left side, and when it will be taken away, deflection will be in opposite direction. So you can see that. Okay. So next observation I had. Okay, we'll discuss that later. That's for two coils, but I'll move on for the next one. Okay, here I have changed the magnetic field. I'm bringing some stronger magnets here. So you can see the deflection is larger here. And now in this video, I have also placed a soft iron rod inside the coil, and I'm bringing the magnetic field a stronger one. So now deflection will be largest in this case. You can see that. Okay, after this, one will be for speed. Achha, this one is for number of turns. So you can identify a 200 number of turns. So identify the deflection of the meter. Now we have 300 number of turns. I'm sorry, the meter was out of focus in that case, but I compared for different number of turns, 100 and 250 number of turns. So more number of turns was showing more deflection. Okay, this one is at different speed. So if the speed is different, you can see if the speed is different. Yeah, at higher speed, deflection is more. Okay, so we'll be concluding these observations. I have to be quick with that because it will take a lot of time. So I'll share the slides with you. So first of all, I will share the observations with you. The observations which we saw was number one, changing the number of turns increased the induced EMF. Second, for stronger magnetic field, EMF induced was larger. For more number of turns, EMF induced was larger, and speed was also related. For higher speed, EMF induced was larger. So at first, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, we will discuss that magnitude of induced EMF is proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux linking the circuit. Now, what do we mean by magnetic flux here? Magnetic flux is actually we'll not be discussing in this syllabus in that detail. It has a specific like mathematical relation in which we can discuss it quantitatively. But here you just need to understand that magnetic flux is number of field lines in a specific direction. So I'll repeat that once again. Magnitude of induced EMF is proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux linking the circuit. So first condition is linking with the circuit. For example, if you have the coil and you have the magnet, if those two objects are far away from each other, then magnetic field of the magnet will not be linking with the coil. So if you have placed them at a far distance and you move it there, move the magnet there will be no effect on this coil. Okay. So at first what you have to do, you have to bring the magnet near the coil. So now you see magnetic fields of the magnet will be linking with the coil. Now when you move the magnet near the coil or you move it away, so what will happen? Magnetic field lines will be cut, magnetic field will be changed, magnetic flux will be changed, and EMF will be induced in that. Now, one explanation for this phenomena is that in electromagnetism, due to flow of electrons, a magnetic field is produced of that current carrying conductor. And here we see that when we are moving a magnet near a coil, so magnetic field is moving, so it can make the electrons move in that conductor. So that's why EMF is being induced. So now this Faraday's law has a proper mathematical formulation also, but we will discuss just a general law here that EMF induced will be proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux. So we are talking about the rate of change also, like speed matters here, and magnetic field should be linking with the circuit. And now when you change magnetic field, when you change the magnetic field or magnetic field lines are cut against the coil, then EMF will be induced. So there are some ways in which EMF can be induced. So I will one slide for that too. Um, Let me show that to you. So, so one can be if I move the magnet near the coil, or if I move the coil near the magnet. So in both the ways, the magnetic field which was linking with the coil is changing. Its lines are cutting against the coil, so EMF will be induced. Second, if you do not have a permanent magnet, you have an electromagnet. For example, here you can see that you have a coil which is connected to a battery, and you can move that coil with respect to the other coil which does not have a source. So EMF will be induced in that. And then there is a third case which we'll discuss before we discuss the transformer. So going back, we discussed Faraday's law of EM induction. Then we will discuss the factors which we have identified. One is the rate of movement. Second is number of turns of the coil. Third is strength of the magnet. And fourth is placing a soft iron material inside the coil or wrapping the coil around a soft iron material. So these factors can increase or decrease the induced EMF in a solenoid. Okay. Now, one more question. We saw the observation and we discussed that if we bring the magnet near the coil or if we move the coil near the magnet or both ways, so EMF will be induced. But what will be the direction of induced EMF, hence the direction of current? So for that, another law was given by the Lenz's law. And for that, you will have to first discuss the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy can neither be produced nor it can be destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another. So here we are moving the magnet near the coil. So what is happening in that case? That EMF is being induced in that coil. So when we bring the magnet near the coil, what happens that we have to apply extra force to do that, because when I move the magnet near the coil, current is induced in that coil. That coil produces its own magnetic field because now there is current in the coil and it becomes an electromagnet. So it will become such a magnet that it will be opposing the incoming motion. Get it? So that's how we connect it to law of conservation of energy. You will have to spend extra energy to bring that magnet near the coil, and that energy, that mechanical movement will be converted to electricity. Okay, so here are some details for that Lenz's law. Induced current is always in such a direction that it opposes the change producing it. Okay, so I was using the terminology incoming, so it's not essential that it's incoming. Magnet may be moving away, but we can name it the change producing. So induced current is always in such a direction to oppose the change producing it. Okay, so now we will discuss how that happens stepwise. First of all, that is a solenoid, a coil wound around a uh, paper cylinder. Okay, and we are bringing the magnet in. Now there can be four ways. Here you can say north is coming in, north can be moving away, south can be coming in, south can be moving away. But what happens is when we bring the north near that coil, current will be induced in that coil. And then it will become a magnet. When it will become a magnet, so it has to oppose the change producing that current. So change is incoming north. So if this coil has to become such a magnet to oppose the change producing, which it means it has to become north and south. So this coil has to become such a magnet that it will have north on right side to oppose the incoming north. So what will happen now? So we can divide it in three steps. First one is that current is induced. Second, we can identify the poles of this electromagnet. And third, we can now deduce the direction of current in the coil. So now we can use the right hand grip rule. Like I can use it that thumb is pointing in the direction of north and curving of fingers is towards me. So you can see that direction of current at the front is downwards. So this will be the direction of current here, and you can see that galvanometer needle reflects in the direction of current. So its current is going from left to right, then direction of needle of galvanometer will be deflecting in the same direction. In second diagram, you see north is moving away. So now we have to oppose this cause, this change which is producing EMF. So if north is moving away and I have to stop it, then this side of the coil should become south and this should become north. So now when north will try to move away, this will stop it, this will attract. Okay. So now north is on the left hand side. Now I can move my fingers for the direction of current. So that is given the direction of current. From front it's going up. So direction of current in this wire will be like this. And you can see the direction of deflection of the needle of the galvanometer. Okay, so we discussed Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction and Lenz's law. Moving on, Acha, now you can be practicing, you should be practicing it for all four cases. Like if I move north near the coil, if I take north away from the coil, if I move south towards the coil, and if I take south away from the coil. And there can be some other cases also that if I'm moving the coil towards the magnet or I'm moving the coil away from the magnet. So you should be practicing at least 4 to 6 options here, so that you can internalize this phenomena of identifying the direction of current from Lenz's law. Okay, so you can spend some time on that. Uh, Here also it's discussing those uh, mm, movement of magnet and induction of current. Next, we can move on to induction of current if we have a single conductor moving in a magnetic field. Like we had in electromagnetism that there was a magnetic field of a single current carrying wire, then there was a magnetic field of a solenoid. So here also we had induced current in the solenoid and we have induced current in this coil. For this setup, we can use Fleming's right hand rule. In electromagnetic induction, we had discussed Fleming's left hand rule, and now we can use Fleming's right hand rule. I'll share the three components of that Fleming's right hand rule, that is force, magnetic field, current. Force, magnetic field, current, and you have to open your thumb and two fingers, index finger and the middle finger, in such a way that all three components are perpendicular to each other. All three are at right angle to each other. Okay, so I can apply it now. Now, earlier I discussed with you the motor rule and the generator rule. So here also um, I will tell you that at first you have to differentiate if we are using left hand rule or the right hand rule. It will depend on the motor or generator rule. So here we are producing electricity, there is no source. So that's a pitfall. Most of the students make this error when they are using this rule. So they start using Fleming's left hand rule for the generator action. So you have to keep it in view. So that rod can be moved upwards and downwards in this apparatus. So for example, if it is moving up, so you can apply Fleming's right hand rule. First of all, the magnetic field is given by the index finger, that is north to south. Force upwards. Now middle finger gives you the direction of current. So I can name it. I can name its two ends. For example, this one is A and this one is B. So first of all, if the conductor rod is moving up, so north to south, force upwards, direction of current is B to A. So this will be the direction of current, and here this will be the direction of current. Okay. And if I move the rod downwards now, then current will be flowing in opposite direction. Okay. So I have also prepared a worksheet for that. So you can get that worksheet in the link below. Okay, please like and subscribe this for this channel.